The man bounces off the bottom between mouthfuls of air as the woman tries to stay afloat.
If someone's drowning, they don't care who you are. They're going to see you're afloat and they're going to jump onto you and start drowning you. I was drowning.
Central to one of the bikes in front of the tower.
Ryan and Harrison respond in the Can-Am.
Looking at the conditions, I thought we'll just be directing a few swimmers up between the flags. I had no idea what was coming for me next.
The man bounces off the bottom between mouthfuls of air as the woman tries to stay afloat. But their rescuers also have a problem.
Do you want anything? What? It's not on there.
Where the two people are drowning, we've got no rescue boards.
Armed with only a rescue tube, Harrison is seriously undergunned.
One of the main rules I got taught when I first started is never go on by yourself, because if someone's drowning, they don't care who you are. They're going to see you're afloat and they're going to jump onto you and start drowning you. I was just grabbing them and they were sinking me. And so I was pretty much trying to keep them afloat, and the only time I could get air is if I went down and I pushed myself off the bottom to get some more air, then I went back under again. I was drowning.
As Harrison is held under, Yatesy arrives with a much-needed rescue board.
When I got there, it was worse than I thought. I didn't realise how bad things were. Harrison was pretty much going under.
The only thing that's going through my mind at this stage is, I'm drowning here. This must be what drowning feels like.
Hold on, mate, hold on. It doesn't take much for someone to panic and go under. And this can happen literally 5 metres from shore.
That was a perfect scenario, really. They were swimming and then they got tired.
I was trying to jump off the bottom to keep them afloat. They were drowning the tube.
Tae-Swan and his sister Yujima are on holiday from South Korea. Outside the flags, the two weak swimmers were caught unaware by a small rip and almost drowned just 5 metres from shore.
There's a big wave. A really big wave. So it can't come here.
After everyone's relief and on the board, I look back and I'm like, man, we're just right here, you know?
Baggis identifies a solo swimmer caught in a rip.
By the time I got down there, Clubby had already gone out. So he actually beat me to the patient, which was good because he kept the guy upright momentarily before I came out.
The volunteer lifesaver has swum out with a rescue tube, a yellow flotation device with ropes attached.
Tubes are really good first responders. They basically just keep the patient upright. It's very hard to complete a rescue with a tube, and it's sort of just a temporary relief before the cavalry arrives.
As the man scrambles onto the board, it becomes clear he's tangled in the rope connected to the rescue tube.
That tube became a big hindrance because it was like a fishing net, all tangled around. The patient had it around his neck. It was actually making the situation worse.
Worse still, the volunteer lifesaver is attached to the other end of the rope.
Clubby was needing rescuing as well. The rescuer became the rescuee.
It was pretty horrific. There was a lot of panic in both the people's eyes at that stage. And then I noticed a blue board coming and I think it's one of my colleagues, but I don't recognise him.
An off-duty volunteer lifesaver has come to help using a spare lifeguard board from the beach.
The guy who swam out with the tubes getting rescued.
Is this his jog or what?
He was coughing up, he was vomiting water, and the tube was wrapped around his body.
An exhausted patient tangled in ropes. This is not a textbook rescue.
I want him on the board so I can untangle him with a bit more stability. He jumps on, shifts his weight. Gone, capsized.
A capsized board normally spells more trouble, but this time, Baggis gets a lucky break.
Believe it or not, capsizing's in our favour. He's untangled, miraculously.
was about to drown. These guys are heroes. It wasn't deep at all. It just pulled me away, you know? I got really close to God.
Off-duty volunteer lifesaver Jesse was walking past when he saw the situation unfolding.
It can happen very quickly that someone can drown. It's just 10 seconds, you know? And that guy was in a very heavy rip there, so it could have been very serious.
That was just one of those ones. He'd drown for sure, 100%.
The rescue victim may now be safe, but he's a little confused about who the camera crew are.
Big promise my family up young, the Bondi Rescue, same thing, yeah? I just wish it was outside at Bondi, bro. You guys be there tomorrow?
Be here tomorrow?
Nah, at Bondi.
Oh, we're at Bondi now.
And then it's Coronola?
No, this is Bondi Beach.
Serious?
Yeah, this is Bondi Beach.
Thought he was in Cronulla. That's a 30-kilometre, different train lines and everything. Like, that's a... He's way off course.
Were you supposed to be in Cronulla?
Yeah, bro.
You okay, mate?
Yeah, thanks.
So I thought my wife was bad with directions. That is, like, next level.
It was late in the afternoon. We noticed a girl in the rip in the north corner struggling to get back in. I paddle out. She's a long way out.
The woman is 50 metres from the beach and making no progress against the rip.
Okay? You okay? There you go. You're going to jump on, lie down like a surfboard, okay? You all right?
Yes.
Going to jump up, lie down like a surfboard. Come on. Bring your legs around to me. Come here, you gotta come here. That's just where everything went downhill pretty quickly. You're gonna face that way. And I noticed I'm not in for an easy one here. Jump up.
To make matters worse, they are still on the escalator. Now, 80 metres from the beach.
Come here, give me your arm, give me your arm. We're going to be out in New Zealand soon.
They just keep drifting further out.
I thought, all right, there's only one option for this. Lifeguards have a technique that we use for unconscious patients. We roll the board upside down and we drag their hands on top of the board. Ready? Yeah. Then roll the board over, then hoping to get half of their torso on the board and we can spin them round, which works. You're gonna face it, bring your leg to me, okay? Bring your leg to me. Come on, come on, I've got to go back to shore.
Oh no.
This technique didn't even work. Come here, you're gonna come here.
Oh my God.
You're gonna jump on, lie down like a surfboard, okay? At North Bondi, you've got the grassy knoll in the afternoon. It's like being at a theatre and everyone's watching you. You're on stage.
What's going on there? That's weird.
I know the boys are watching from the tower. Face that way. Who would have thought that the worst rescue in lifeguard history could get even worse? We've still drifted further and further out, and I still haven't even got her on the rescue board. For me, being out in the water, that's time away from being on the radio, and if something else does happen, you know, we can't respond to that incident. This is drastic now.
Oh my God.
We need to go to the last resort. You know what you're gonna do? Hold on to the back handles, okay? So the last resort is just... Hold on to the back handle. Hang on to the handles, and I'll somehow try and drag you in. And so she grabs the handles, and I start paddling. She just lets go straight away. Hold on. Stay holding on to the handles. I'm all right, mate. All right, just don't try and get up. Don't try and get up. Just hold on to the handles. Come here. I've done a lot of rescues. I reckon you're the worst one I've ever had. All right, just hold on there. Don't move. Don't move. Okay. Just don't move. This is by far the most embarrassing moment of my career.
Yeah. You know it. Talk about harassment if someone getting rescued.
I think I might have invented a new technique, and I'm going to have to give Hop a call because we need to redo the manual, Hop.
I thank you, my friend.
You okay?
Yes, thank you.
You're more welcome. Just go back to shore and don't swim down there, okay?
Thank you.
Don't let your friend down there. She's not a good swimmer. I've never been so excited to feel and touch dry land in the sand before in my life.
Mate, I don't know why.
That was hands down the worst rescue I have ever done. Yeah, I'd rather not talk about that one. That was embarrassing on my behalf.
Beyond the shore break, a man is caught in backpacker's rip.
If you do need some help, pop your hand up in the air and we'll come and help you out. Otherwise, let us know if you're okay.
The thumping shore break is enough to make this champion board paddler rethink his strategy.
You know, all throughout the day, I'd seen people getting sort of swallowed up by this thing, and I just thought, you know what? If I have to do a rescue, I think I'm going to opt for the tube.
Rarely used today, the tube was once the main piece of rescue equipment for lifeguards.
He didn't realise where he was, and he was just getting sucked out to sea, and this situation was starting to get serious.
Intoxicated Central.
Go ahead, mate.
Yeah, I think that's just going over the tube.
Hey, coffee.
You know, I just have a natural affinity with paddling the board. I love it. For this day, for me to opt for the tube is sort of saying something about that shore break.
Singlet's choice of equipment is attracting attention from his colleagues.
I reckon that's a rescue all day.
The shore is hectic. Even though the shore break was quite heavy, I still would have went the board because you're going to float out pretty far with that tube.
Yeah, I was running to the water and I got to sort of waist depth and I saw this huge shorey coming and I thought, oh no.
Despite a violent pummeling, Singlets isn't regretting his decision.
You know, I came up and I thought, gee, I'm glad I've got this tube behind me. Like, trying to do that with a rescue board would have been a nightmare. So I thought I've actually made the right decision here.
I suppose getting through that shorey on the board, he could have, you know, got hit back once, and that timing would have been put back a bit.
When I swam out to the patient, he was very tired and a little bit disorientated as well. He didn't really know how he'd got out so far or where he was. He probably wasn't used to seeing a lifeguard with a tube either.
Singlets loops the tube around the man, clipping it shut so he doesn't lose hold of him.
It's a long man.
He must now swim himself and the man back through the shore break.
Dead weight, the guy's like standing up, like vertical.
Swim in was an absolute nightmare. Like, now I know why we don't use tubes often.
Yeah, you know, tube rescues are up there with one of the hardest things to do. You've got a tube attached to the patient and you're dragging that body weight back to shore.
Like a log.
We know that all the boys are watching and there's always a running commentary, and I thought, if we can't get in and we're stuck in this rip, this is not going to go down well at all.
They might go over the shorey.
Well done, mate, no worries.
You know, Singlets did a great job being able to put that person on the tube and bring them back in through backpackers.
It all ended out pretty well in the end, but you had one pretty exhausted lifeguard.
We're from the north of England and we come here on like a gap year sort of. So this is actually our second day here, and then we're just travelling around Australia. Yeah, well, I didn't feel that far, and then I started trying to swim and then it felt like miles away. We have nothing like this at home, so it's a bit of a surprise how easily it is to get taken out.
H and Chapo race to South Bondi, where two swimmers are being swept out in a rip.
Two of them right at the back.
With every second, they are dragged further out. H and Chapo use the rip as an express route out to the swimmers.
Hey, get on behind me.
Collecting the two men is one thing. The challenge is getting them safely to shore. As Chapo struggles against the fast-moving water, the old man of the sea heads in the opposite direction.
Can you kick your leg? Yeah. Here's a trick I'll show you. This is what you do if it ever happens again. You know, there we are.
Bizarrely, he heads straight for the rocks. Chapo still makes no headway against the rip. Chapo might be losing ground, but H's unorthodox manoeuvre looks alarmingly dangerous.
Just head straight there. Go up with the wave. Here we go. Ready? Go up with it.
Then, like magic, the swimmer is delivered to safety.
H has just paddled him on top of the rocks. It's quite different. I've never seen it done before.
As Chapo struggles, the old sea dog takes command.
Yeah, I will, mate. Yeah, no, gotcha. Good idea. Yeah, good one.
Yeah, actually, Chapo's decided to do the same thing now.
All the way from Colorado, Daniel and Doug didn't expect to be rock climbing at Bondi.
You all right? Yeah, man, thanks. It's all right. Up the rock. Hey, our pleasure, mate.
Highly unorthodox, but highly effective.
Old sea dog knew exactly where to go. I'm over there struggling to rip.
It's what you call local knowledge. I've grown up. It's the easiest way. It looks the most frightening, but it's the easiest. Because the current's going that way. It's just a matter of just getting lifted up with the wave. You see, I didn't even have to... That guy was sort of not totally hopeless. Some people, I've had to take some really tired people up there. But there again, you just take charge. You know, it's what we do.
Before we knew it, we were just dragged all the way out here. And then the surfer came and said, "You okay?" And I was being bashful. And I don't know where he was, but I couldn't get up. I'm glad he came and got me. I really
like,
am.
if you guys want to ride, we'll give you a ride. If not, we're leaving you here. So I was like, I'll take her ride in.
I was in trouble. I really was in trouble.
It was tired.
I think.
That makes you tired trying to fight that current out there.
It was good. I'm glad they got me.
2 teenagers and a very young boy are in a fight for their lives.
Yeah, go. Oh, you want to go again? Yeah. Hey, guys, everyone out. Everyone out. Out of the water.
Harrison must prioritise who he should rescue first.
When you go for a rescue, when there's more than one person involved, you always go for the person most furthest out the back.
Harrison's flying out to him right now.
And by the time I got to him, it was in a really bad way, but a surfer managed to come over and just prompt him up for me.
Harrison has followed protocol, but on this occasion, it may prove a mistake.
I tried to give my patient back to the surfer so I can paddle back and get the other guy.
The terrified teenager quickly becomes an anchor on Harrison's board.
I got to the stage where I'm just seeing this guy going under and I'm trying to kick him.
Harrison can't reach the other swimmers until he frees himself from the first man.
I'm literally kicking him. I feel bad, but I'm thinking, as long as I can hold on to that surfer's board, I can get this other guy.
Buddy's still there.
Oh, this guy's in trouble. Oh, take your gun.
As Jake backs up, Harrison finally offloads the teenager onto a sandbank. The small boy, barely 7 years old, has fought his way out of the rip by himself.
Those things can get quite scary because you've got your patient and you're watching someone else and you feel kind of helpless, I guess.
The third swimmer is helped by yet another surfer.
Jake's going to get there, but the guys, two surfers have pretty much saved these guys' lives.
Without the surfer's help, the situation could have been tragic. Jake's patient was only moments from drowning.
Jake got to the other guy. That's as close as you want to get.
The 2 teenagers are students from Malaysia. The students aren't out of danger yet. Water on the lungs can still cause death.
I'm going to give him some oxygen. It looks like they swallowed him with a fair bit of water. Try to help him out for a bit, see if he comes good. If not, we'll have to take him off to hospital.
Lifeguards monitor the men's oxygen saturation levels before they are finally released.
One simple rescue turned into 3, and that was critical. If the surfer hadn't got over to one of them, I think 100% they would have died.
I was in the tower and I was just looking out, and there was this little girl, and she was in the rip and she was struggling.
Brother, it looks like the water is just rocketing through there.
Yeah, I'm going to jump down quickly.
Once the North Bondi Express gains momentum, it's impossible to swim against.
Hi, thank you so much.
Patrolling North Bondi alone, Max is responsible for the safety of hundreds of beachgoers. Within moments, he's back in the water.
Max is still out there, eh? Not again.
I got back and I was looking out in that rip to see if anyone was in it, and there was 3 people in there, and they were travelling really fast, so they were in a bit of trouble.
3 swimmers are 50 metres from shore and going out to sea.
He's got 3 on there, eh?
The North Corner Rip is just really deep, and the water is just flying out at the moment.
Central is skinny.
Yeah, go ahead, flags.
Just saw young Max back out there.
Yeah, I'll head down there now.
Yeah, might be good idea.
Danny and I, we've grown up around Maroubra. We're family friends, and he's taught me a lot. I'm definitely very close with Skeeny.
The speed of the rip is visible from the tower as Max and the 3 swimmers are swept further out.
Well, I knew I couldn't have all 3 of them on the board.
Oh, God. Put 2 on, hanging on. 3.
I just asked him if he was a good swimmer, and he said, yeah, he could manage himself, so he swam off to the rocks. I just got the other 2 ladies, one on the front, one on the back.
He's gonna hellman it. I hope he hellman. He's going one at the front, one on the back.
The Hellman is a bold rescue manoeuvre for a first-year lifeguard.
So yeah, the Hellman is where you got one person on the front, like a normal rescue. You got a person on the back that you're gonna hold with your legs so they don't fall off.
He's got the Hellman. I think Skeeny's gonna go help him anyway.
I just remember seeing Jethro do it one time. I was like, oh, I'll give it a go. And so yeah, I just always thought about pulling it off and proving to the boys, proving to Jethro that I can do it as well.
I thought when I was racing out there that I definitely would have been grabbing one of the patients, because when you get 2 people, it can be really tricky.
Loaded with 2 people, Max sets himself up for the return trip.
Oh, you might get this out.
To be honest, when that wave started to grow in front of us, the girls started like screaming a little bit. I was just going, oh no, it's fine, but in the back of my mind, I was semi going, oh no, myself.
Oh my God, he's done it.
Oh my God, he's done the Hellman.
Yes, babe.
I'm trying to race out, and here comes Max doing the Hellman, coming down a wave with a smile from ear to ear.
Like, I'm Skeeny, I just let him go. That was all time.
Seeing Skeeny flying out, and he was going, you want me to take one? I was like, nah, mate, I've got this, eh?
Empty-handed, Skeeny checks no one else is in trouble.
Yeah, in a way I got snubbed, but it was a good snubbing.
Well done, Maximus. Well done.
We were just swimming and then we were chatting and then we got caught in a rip, and that was how easy that was to happen. I'm never going to go into a rip again.
Blokes with years of experience wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Throw one on the front, one on the back, leg lock and paddle in.
Yeah.
Killed it, mate. That was unreal. Max is one of those kids, I've known him since he was about 6 years old, and what he just done was a real good effort. I was proud of him.
2 swimmers seen fighting the rip are facing a losing battle.
There's a couple that look like they might need a bit of help if they don't find their feet.
Yeah, for sure. We've just been at backpackers.
Wow, they're going to drown each other in a sec.
2 proper drowners, eh?
As I was getting closer to the 2 gentlemen, They were pushing off the bottom and sort of gasping for air.
Oh, wow, they're under.
So close. I just had to reach down, one on each side, and grab onto whatever I could, try and get them up onto the board.
Okay, hold on to the board, not me.
He's grabbed one in each arm.
Very dangerous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Against a surging rip, Whippet shows his experience.
Once you get 2-3 adult males on a board, the chance of rolling it is pretty good. So for me, I thought just get them to hold on to the side, I can hold on to them, and I knew if I angled the board right, we'd hit a sandbank sooner or later.
So when you go in, aim here. Thank you. We came from first time over here. We already went to a couple of beaches. There we don't find any problem, but today we came over there. So someone suddenly came and then he catches.
They were properly drowning. That was a good one. Double.
When panic sets in like that for people like that, they can't swim and they get tired super quick. Yeah, they wouldn't have had long before they started sinking properly, those guys, and taking on water.
A lone swimmer has been spotted several hundred metres from shore near the shark nets.
Oh, yeah, I see the guy.
A person treading water so far from shore is clearly not a bay swimmer.
To be swimming to the shark boy, that's a fair swim for someone who isn't a particularly good swimmer.
Yeah, I'm having a cause.
Yeah, hey, he's got 2 hands up, mate.
Being that far out, if you're not a strong swimmer, there's no way getting back to shore.
He was swimming out in the middle of nowhere.
Volunteer lifesavers have an inflatable rescue boat already in the water.
Cause is the IRB in the water, so we're just in them. Yeah, that'd be great.
With time critical, the IRB is directed to the man.
Saw the IRB pick up the patient at probably about 100 metres before I got there, but I was still worried about the welfare of the patient, especially being that far out to sea, so I decided I would signal the volunteers down and perform a welfare check on the patient out in the water.
The IRB makes the rescue, but heading for shore, it stops.
So the IRB had stopped moving and I'd sat off my board to have a look at what was going on, and I was wondering if they had started performing first aid or CPR on the patient. With the chop in the ocean that day, I actually couldn't see the patient in the IRB. When I saw the patient sit up and I saw he was conscious and breathing, it was a sigh of relief.
The IRB has broken down, so the volunteers hand the patient over to Max. 18-year-old Alex is conscious but disoriented. Now, Max faces a half-kilometre paddle back to shore. It remains unclear why Alex was so far out.
It was a weird sort of state he was in. He was sort of aware of his surroundings, but at the same time, he was so tired and so confused.
After an exhausting 1 kilometre round trip, Max finally gets Alex back to the beach.
When he walked out of the water, you could just see he was exhausted. He didn't look like he was in a good way.
Just come up there and sit down with us.
Let's take him up. I'm pretty concerned, hey, like, he just seemed very confused and out of it.
You alright, buddy? Yeah. Who'd you come down here with?
No one.
Just by yourself?
Yeah.
And did you swim out there?
Yeah.
Why?
That fuck will make it back.
Okay.
It's quite common for patients to act a bit abnormal when they've been through an ordeal like that.
As Jack focuses on Alex's condition, he looks for answers as well.
Where did you start in the water?
I started from the shore.
Here?
Yeah.
And you just swam out?
Yeah.
You just kept swimming?
Yeah. Well, I realised how I was running too much out of first, and I thought I swam back. I thought I feel I was drowning big time.
You reckon you've been out there since 10 o'clock?
Yeah.
Alex told us he'd been out there for an hour, hour and a half. If you've been out there that long, you're looking at things like dehydration, sunstroke.
Hoping to improve Alex's condition, Jack administers oxygen.
Just breathe normally. Just take it nice and easy there. He's exhausted and not thinking clearly. The oxygen therapy treatment will help him recover from that.
Alex is from Liverpool in Western Sydney. A 1-hour trip from Bondi that requires 2 trains and a bus.
Is there anyone that can come pick you up?
I think about a few minutes I should be alone.
Alex doesn't want to cause his family trouble by driving all the way to Bondi.
I'm not on call, no one can pick me up.
But Jack insists he speak with Alex's parents.
I won't ask anyone to come. What if I just speak to someone that you know, just so they know you're okay? Can I do that?
You promise.
Promise. Hi there, my name's Jack Curtis. I'm calling from the Bondi Lifeguards. How are you? Are you Alex's mother? Everything's okay? Even if they don't like it, sometimes we just have to do what's right and ensure they get home safely. He's insisting on not calling anyone, but I don't think he's okay to get public transport himself. That'll be great. I'm sorry, I know it's a bit of a long drive for you, but I'm just not okay with putting him back on public transport.
As Alex overhears the conversation, he becomes agitated.
Hi. Alex, Mom insisted on coming to you, okay? She's not upset.
Don't make me hit you.
You're not going to hit me. We're friends, all right? She insisted, okay? I didn't ask her to. Relax with me. You're not in a good enough position to be getting public transport. Just relax. Yeah, things escalated pretty quickly. She has to come. You're not in an okay position. I just said, relax, mate. We're here to help. Just stay calm. Just take it easy, buddy.
I'm not going to take it easy. You need to stop talking for once.
So once we have a patient, we have a duty of care to make sure they recover fully and that they can get home safe on their own.
Get the camera.
Hey.
Mommy? 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 Can you go home? So I said to her, look, Mom, please, I'm fine. Are you sure you will go home right now? I don't want my parents to come this far. I don't care what happens to me. I can move by them to myself. And driving this far for my mistake, I just can't do that. I just can't. I won't be alive.
Sometimes the patients feel like they're okay and they're ready to leave. They'll get up and then they feel sick again. So you just need to monitor them until you're happy with their condition.
After oxygen therapy, Alex's condition has improved. And he apologises to Jack.
How you doing, mate?
Yeah, my bad.
We're just looking out for you. We're happy you're okay.
Yeah.
You feeling all right now?
Yeah, I'm feeling fine.
He seemed like a really nice kid. At the end of the day, I've just got to do my best to make sure that he leaves in a good enough condition to get home on his own.
And on this particular day, I was out in the big waves and I look across at the rock shelf and I noticed 2 scuba divers.
Conditions are deadly enough for swimmers, but divers, strapped with tanks and equipment, are destined for disaster.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I knew I had to do something. I was screaming at it. Get off, climb up the rock. Quick. Go.
In front of Harry's, the 2 divers are hit by a giant wave.
And threw them so hard into the back of the rock face that I heard the scuba diving tanks go ping.
Harry's can't see the divers who have disappeared in the whitewater. Without a radio, he is unable to communicate the emergency back to the tower.
I was screaming up at the rocky shelf above, call the lifeguards, call the police. I knew if we got a 000 call that it'd get back to the lifeguards too.
Hello? Something's happened on the rocks. Harry's just called someone to get the lifeguards down there.
North Bondi?
Yeah, North Bondi on the rocks.
Harry's just found his son on the rocks.
We had no idea what was going on. We didn't know if it was in the water, if it was on the land, if it was a resus, if someone had been rescued. We just had no idea what was going on.
For Harry's now, I can't see anything. Okay, was he hurt or was it sort of someone else, do you think? Hang on.
There were just phones ringing everywhere. The police, ambos, Surfcom, everything's going on.
Okay, just stay on the phone for me if that's all right.
For all this to be happening, this has got to be proper.
Harry's spots the divers being washed over rocks.
Go, 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 go. Come down, give him a hand. The ocean owned them. There's nothing they could do.
As the massive wave recedes, there's no sign of the two scuba divers.
I knew I had to get into the boat ramp myself, and in that time, I couldn't locate them. So I'm picturing that they're going to be in a cave, dead. I couldn't get any closer to the rock shelf to scream at them. If I lose my board here, I won't be able to get into the boat ramp to try and assist them if they are alive.
Members of the public relay the emergency to the tower, but information is patchy.
We don't really know the intricacies of it at the moment. I've got a young girl on the phone to me and she said that Harry's has yelled for help. Before I knew it, there was emergency services, everybody was turning up. Yeah, it was on.
Harry's is the only lifeguard who knows the last location of the two divers.
I can see Harry's is off.
Someone took me behind. We could see a rescue board tucked up against the boat ramp. That's when I got in the buggy, got the defib in there, and I drove along the road and around the houses.
Harrison heads to another access point.
I saw two guys sitting there in wetsuits and dive tanks and two cops just interviewing them.
After trying their luck entering the surf on one of the biggest days of the season, the two divers are lucky to be alive.
What are you doing scuba diving today?
Just checking it out, man.
My eyes were just going from them to the 10-foot surf and rocks, back to them, then back to the 10-foot surf and rocks, and my brain just couldn't piece it together what I was actually seeing.
A big set comes in, knocks Colin over, and the lifeguard is like, get out, get out, get out. And then we start turning around, another wave comes, knocks me over, and then by then we're pretty much just like face planting against the rock.
Harry's finally makes it ashore.
You know, I had this immense amount of frustration and anger in me, thinking how could they have done this to themselves, and then there was the sign of relief that, you know, they are alive and they're out of harm's way. That's 20 years working down here, and I've never seen that. It's like the situation you two are in. I've lost my voice from screaming. And I seen that 10-foot wave hit you guys. It's just like a pinball, across the rocks. And I know how easy it is to lose a life, and that's as close as you're going to get.
The incident has cost emergency services thousands of dollars.
I can't even begin to comprehend what they were thinking. Let alone if those guys got in the water, they wouldn't have come out alive.
There's so much water moving, you wouldn't even be able to see your hand in front of your face, let alone being able to see Dory or Nemo or... What's Nemo's? Bruce.
Lockie provides swimmers with their final warning.
Hey guys, hello. All these swimmers, how'd you get out of the water?
Conditions are getting a lot worse. We didn't want anyone swimming.
How'd you get? Come on, come back tomorrow.
Then a report comes in.
That friend just went out for it. Really far out of his I don't think she's dangerous. She's all the way out there and she's swimming.
Yeah, man, sorry. Is there a swimmer out the back?
It's a girl and I don't think she's any good. Yeah, copy, thank you. I'll go get her. You might have to go.
The woman is over 100 metres from shore. Unable to get a visual on her, Lockie's hope is that he will somehow find her out the back, still afloat.
The way the wind was, the southerly hit, you know, you couldn't really see her at all. She was out past the break. The wind was so strong, it makes it really hard with the big boards. They're like sails, it just catches it. Yeah, she wasn't in a good spot. When I was out there, she was hanging on to someone else's board. She's fully gassed when I get to her. She's actually quite white. You know, that's when your panic sets in.
Exhausted from the rough conditions, the woman can barely hold on.
And she's so weak, she slips off.
Where the did she just go?
That's just the worst thing ever. Where's she gone? Like, I've lost her here.
The woman makes a final attempt to stay alive.
All right, we're done. We got her back to the beach. It was past 7 o'clock. It was time for us to go home. I had to get everyone out of the water, so I paddled back out. Hey, everyone out! Get out! Out of the water! By the time I came back in, I couldn't actually see her. I think one of the boys said she walked off to her friends. Generally, that means they're all right.
Further up the beach and reunited with her friend, Martina is far from okay.
I love you. I was with you. Ja, men det var sånn, du har en selvfølelse. Rett før du ønsker ut med. Ja, men jeg så hvor mange jeg provoserer. Ikke provoserer det.
Water on the lungs can cause secondary drowning, even hours after the actual event. After 15 minutes on dry land, Martina shows no signs of improvement.
Are you okay? Yeah, I'm one of the lifeguards. This particular day, I was the buggy driver for the crew. Right on pack up, I noticed a surfer that was in trouble. She was starting to shiver and get cold.
Have you been drinking? Only 4 beers. Okay, so it's not a lot. Okay, but I went for a swim like right after I surfed, you know? Yeah. And I couldn't get in. Yeah, it's pretty dangerous. Yeah, I was so scared. Yeah.
She'd been running, surfing, swimming and walking all day and then downed 4 beers and went and jumped in the ocean right on the southerly change. It was kind of a cocktail for a small disaster.
Do you feel dizzy? Are you seeing
I'm
just tired, I think. Yeah. And have you drunk much water today? No. Okay, so you're probably dehydrated and you're going into shock. Now you just got to make sure you don't get cold.
Exposure is also a risk.
There was nothing of her, so if she continued to stay in this weather, she was going to turn hypothermic.
I guess one.
I made a call to 000. I've got a young girl in her early 20s. I'd say she's got early hypothermia. Now I think she's just worked herself up into a state of like hysteria. All right, they're coming, lights and sirens.
Hypothermia arises when a person loses heat faster than their body can produce it.
It's incredibly dangerous and it can be fatal if it's left untreated.
Police arrive, with paramedics close behind.
Police did arrive first. They thought maybe it was like a rescue retrieval or something going on.
Martina, you awake?
Yeah.
I went for a bit of a swim, did you?
Yeah.
Did you follow any water?
I'm not sure.
Okay. A little bit anxious at the moment?
Yeah.
Yeah. You just need to try and control it.
An intensive care paramedic quickly establishes what the problem is.
35.9, okay? So your temperature inside your body, a little bit cold, all right?
Normal body temperature is around 37 degrees.
I'm too hot.
No, it's what happens when inside gets a little bit cold, you think you're hot, okay?
Martina is moved off the cold floor.
Come in. Get up. Open eyes. Bang it in. I'm going to sit over. Thanks. That's much better. All right?
Paramedics recommend Martina should go to hospital, but when she refuses, they settle on a final checkup in the ambulance.
That should wake you up a little bit, hopefully. Yep.
So it's really important whenever people swim to know their ability, and if you're not a good swimmer, just make sure there's someone there, like a lifeguard or a lifesaver to look after you.
Everyone just come back in the shore. We've got a lot of water moving right now. I need everyone out of the water.
Swimmers are evacuated from the surge, which is pulling them out of the flags and into the heart of the main rip. Not everyone escapes in time.
There's two like at the back. Just trot down there, Tommy, and just pick off random ones.
To be honest, I didn't know who needed rescuing. We just knew that there was 15 people in the rip all of a sudden, and we had to get there.
Tommy quickly picks off 2 swimmers, but the number of people being swept out continues to grow.
I think you're going to have to go in 2. Tommy's got 3 of them on his board and he's going backwards.
He just needs to hold on and just kick towards the rocks.
As soon as I seen Tommy, I was straight in there.
Backup is coming, but the people in trouble outnumber the 2 lifeguards in the water.
I was thinking, if a wave breaks in our head, how am I going to keep a hold of everyone?
New recruit Boo uses the intense rip to his advantage.
How quick he's going. That rip was pulling as hard as any rip I've ever seen.
3 swimmers are directed towards the waves and make it in, leaving 3 people for Tommy and Boo to rescue.
We'll be all right. I'm more worried about Tommy.
Once I saw Tommy struggling in that rip, after our conversation in the buggy, I just knew he was going up the rocks straight away. The risk when you take a patient up the rocks, there's a few things going on. Like if you stuff it up and nosedive the board into the rocks, you're just going to skittle the patient all over the rocks.
Boo supervises as Tommy makes his first attempt at the rocks.
I had no idea what was going to happen.
The drop must be timed between waves.
Go.
A successful unload, and Tommy has a vacancy on his board. Boo quickly turns to his big wave experience.
I feel comfortable when the waves are a little bit bigger, so yeah, my instincts were just to crack a wave all the way in.
Who just caught that wave? Was the person? Oh, was that Boo that caught that wave? Yeah, Boo's sweet. Even Boo's in.
No, I feel good to show the other boys down here what I'm capable of and can handle myself in decent-sized surf.
Meanwhile, Tommy is fighting to stay away from the impact zone.
Tommy's on the rocks. I'm just going to go help him.
Yeah, copy, Mouse. That just shit's hot at me. Mouse is out there. Is that Mouse on the rock? Yeah.
I'm pretty used to that rock area, but there was a lot of water moving. It's a pretty dangerous exercise.
Mouse is gone. Oh, gone.
We were pretty lucky. We had a little roll around on the rocks. Neither of us got too badly cut up. She got up. She was pretty shaken up. She was rattled.
Now free of patients, a ride back in is not so daunting. A mass rescue in these conditions is a major milestone for the trainee.
Straight up the rocks, big mum.
Straight up the rocks. Being trainee, you know, you got to prove yourself. The swell's big. You semi want to do rescues just to show the boys you got what it takes.
It's just gotten worse. It's getting worse. Once we had a mass rescue go down, that was the final straw. Like after that point, it was time to close the beach.
Yeah, just attention, guys. We're going to pull the flags down. Staying in the beach too dangerous at the moment to swim. If you want to have a swim, you're free to go up to the pool here. There's 2 pools. Conditions are ultra dangerous this afternoon. Beach is closed.
5 p.m. and the beach is closed, meaning swimming is no longer permitted.
That guy kind of off the back of the bank.
Reedy relies on the vantage point of lifeguards in the tower.
Started doing double leg kicks.
Clint Kimmins has 7 years lifeguarding experience on the Gold Coast, but is in his first season at Australia's busiest beach.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's panicking. He's definitely no good.
Trainee Berkey is also at the South End. He's on a rostered day off, but working as a buggy driver for the Bondi Rescue film crew.
And even on my day off, I was still watching the water. I knew something was going to go on down here.
It's just starting to open up now. That tide's really starting to drop.
Suddenly, 5 more swimmers lose their footing on the sandbank.
There's a few others out there now. I'm going to go.
Just one. Copy, mate. We'll keep eyes on you. 5 or 6 more people just lost their feet and started to panic.
Oi! Oi! Go in! Go in!
There are now 6 swimmers in trouble and only 1 lifeguard.
Yeah.
Saw him go in, I was like, oh, this is on. I started thinking I might have to go in here.
Yeah, central to Jethro.
Backup is 800 metres away at the north end.
Mate, there's a few more heads down there. It might even be worth just heading down that way, mate.
Usually the horn's really useful to clear a path, but on this day the horn wasn't working.
I was looking at other people in trouble thinking, geez, we need a few more lifeguards out here. Hey, buddy! Oi! 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 Swim to me! Swim to me!
A man further in struggles to stay afloat. Trainee lifeguard Berkey is off duty and faced with a decision.
Mate, that guy was properly drowning. I knew I had to go.
But has the new recruit left his run too late? Loaded with 4 people, Reedy can't reach the worst swimmer.
Hey, buddy! Oi! 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 Swim to me! Swim to me!
Mate, that guy was drowning.
The rip intensifies, yet more swimmers are sucked out.
Yeah, central to North Rhino. There's about 5 heads now, so worth going in when you get there.
You've got to get on the board. Lay off your stomach. Stomach. No. Copy. Don't go ahead. 3 arms out of the water.
Jethro finally arrives with first-year Bondi lifeguard Jack. Reedy, Berkey and a volunteer lifesaver manage 5 patients. 2 more swimmers cling to a small bodyboard. Jack heads for the 2 swimmers who are waving, when Jules identifies yet another person in trouble.
There's a chick close to shore who's like practically drowning.
Wait.
You can't ignore when people are in distress.
PA Jack and tell him to turn around and go for the chick into his right. She's the priority.
There's now only 1 lifeguard left on the entire beach.
By the time I grabbed the megaphone, Jack had gone past it. I just had to get in there.
Jethro's going in.
People drown in a minute. You think they're sweet and they just sink, so you can't really leave that up to chance.
Escalated quickly.
Bruno Chent is visiting from Hong Kong with his family.
We were looking for him in the wrong spot the whole time.
I am on the pedal. I try to swim as hard as I can. My kids are also here, so I'm really happy.
Is my dad seeing? No, you're okay.
This is my 5th summer on the beach. You know, it's time for me to really step up. We've got a lot of new, inexperienced lifeguards, and you know, that puts me in a position to be someone to look up to.
No more swimming in the south corner.
Just a guy starting to freak out. He's off his board and he's sort of stuck in a rip.
So the call came in from Corey that there was someone struggling behind the reef pretty close to the rocks out near the pool. When it's big like that, the first one breaks, you can't see anything past that bit of whitewash. You punch over that, you don't know what's behind it. It's pretty freaky sometimes, you know, you don't know what's next.
As Yatesy battles toward the man, he picks up an unexpected passenger.
I was looking down at this fish and looking at this guy, and yeah, it was all very surreal at that stage.
Oi, you're gonna have to go over the rocks, man. It's okay.
If you'd never been there before, you'd be freaking out because there's like a concrete wall there, which is a pool. I guess the dangers are getting swept up against that seawall.
The man clings to the surfboard for his life, but Yatesy doesn't want the board smashing into them during the rescue.
Oi, take your leg rope off. Take your leg rope off.
There's a couple of things that could happen if a guy doesn't take off his leg rope. His board can act like an anchor, so like a drag, or worse, it can come back and act like a spear.
Rip that leg rope off.
He's like, no, and he says, it's not my board.
Paddling back to the beach against the rip is impossible. So is breaking through the waves. Yatesy is left with one option.
Oh, this will be a doozy, mate.
Timing a perfect landing on the rocks is extremely tricky and very dangerous.
Nailed it. That was sick.
Yes, mate.
That was outstanding.
The man is a tourist from Italy.
This is the first time we did kind of waves for me. So it will be the last time.
Chapo, Sam and myself are all in the tower observing a spot that's not bad but could be bad.
Veteran lifeguard Chapo is joined by first-year lifeguard Sam.
We just jumped straight in the buggy and went.
That's an absolute survival stroke at its finest. They were panicking, trying to get in, unable to get in. That's just like fighting.
We're in for sure. Go for the right-hand side. I'll go to left-hand side, okay? Where's the board?
With only one board on the buggy, Chapo must drop Sam off.
You go first, I'll go get a board.
Then go for another board.
Oh, wait, hold.
But then the women seem to be making progress.
They're kind of floating. I'm in the tower with binoculars with a zoom-in view of them just kind of cruising and floating in this rip.
Calm, girls. Big swimming.
Next second, panic. And, you know, panic can go to all sorts of bad places.
She might not be all right, eh? Definitely go for a paddle.
Chapo said grab the one on the right.
Yeah, Sam's going in. I'm just going to get another board.
Yeah, I'll keep my eye on them.
A surfer sees the trouble unfolding.
A surfer came along and floated one of the girls, so I thought, oh, thank goodness she's out of trouble. Sam can get the other girl now. Yeah, that one girl's horrific. And Sam paddled past the girl in dire straits. And went for the girl that was already being floated by the surfer. What are you doing? Yeah, Chapo, can you go?
But Chapo is still 100 metres up the beach.
The other girl was literally drowning.
Even though she was being held up by a surfer, she was unresponsive.
All right, if we're going to get our legs, on the floor, we're going to lie down, good.
She's taken on a lot of water, and yeah, I wasn't getting much response at all.
100 metres up the beach, Chapo has collected a second rescue board.
Sam's grabbed one girl, but quickly go.
Yeah, I'm on my way. I've got a good visual on her. I know she's struggling. Just hold up.
I was 100% confident that I made the right choice.
I'll get there.
Especially when you've got someone as capable as Chapo backing you up.
Copy.
mate.
The woman must hang on for just a few seconds more.
Hold on, sweetie, hold on.
Friends from Western Sydney, Claudia and Alicia, are now with lifeguards. But their condition is poor.
Lots of waves coming. She was not really moving at all. I just wanted to kind of keep her close and just keep telling her it's going to be okay. She was in and out of consciousness and she was pretty limp.
Alicia is too weak to walk to the buggy for assessment.
She had taken in a lot of water, so sort of the next 5 to 10 minutes were just pretty critical.
Okay, sweetie. What we're going to do is we're going to give you some oxygen.
Put the oxygen mask on her and just try and keep her calm.
Yeah,
good girl.
That's it. Just take your time.
This woman's day could have been very different.
Seem like you've come around all right.
I don't think an ambulance is necessary.
No, I don't think so either.
It was worry because I knew that I couldn't keep it up for much longer. I'm not a very strong swimmer.
I was definitely worried for her. I was like, oh my God, help her. I was just like help.
My head hurts a lot, but happy to be safe on solid ground.
Yeah, just the lady at the back. If you're having trouble getting in, just put your arm up.
I was on the megaphone within 20 seconds of them jumping in the water, and by then it was already time to go in.
Right, this is Central. I'm in for a paddle for a chick up here. Yeah, mate, we were watching. Hutch is going to come down, just back you up.
I might need to go and give him a hand.
Yeah, go, baby. He's going backwards.
These two swimmers are relatively close to shore for now. But this rip is charging out to sea at around 3 meters per second.
He's got two. He's got maybe like 30 seconds before he's on that bank and in the rosin.
When Harrison arrives, he can smell something isn't quite right.
As soon as I got to the patient, straight away, I got a strong whiff of alcohol. When you're drunk, your decision-making, your coordination, and really important for us, your balance is all gone. And so on a rescue board of 2 people, it can be really tough.
Unable to paddle against the rip, Harrison and Tommy must move into the impact zone.
You just got smart.
I had told her to hold on, and I looked back and there was a solid wave about to break on us.
Tommy must secure the girl before the next wave hits. If he's learned anything in his big wave training, now's the time to show it.
And the next wave comes and absolutely smokes us.
Tommy's lost his board. Oh no. Tommy's lost his board.
Straight away, I realised that Tommy was out the back with his patient and no rescue board.
With no flotation device and an intoxicated patient, Tommy is in danger himself.
Oh, technique.
Harrison must help the young trainee, so he directs his passenger towards a keyhole in the rocks.
Mate, hurry, swim up the rocks. Huh? Swim up the rocks.
I knew I had to get to Tommy really quickly.
That's as vulnerable as you get, copping 6-foot waves in the head with no rescue gear.
Hold on.
Hectic.
Now, more than 300 metres from shore, Tommy and his patient are helped by a surfer.
The locals up there are good. They come down and gave us a hand.
The woman and her friends are from Sweden.
They ignored the dangerous current signs and they went swimming while intoxicated, so they're not the smartest bunch, I don't think.
I'm really sorry. Yeah.
Alcohol and the ocean are a dangerous cocktail. Add big waves and it becomes lethal.
And I said, guys, don't swim this corner ever again. Swim up between the flags and don't you dare come down when you're intoxicated.
Harrison was downstairs, and I don't know how, but he's just spotted these two people down south.
Are there two heads with it? Are there two heads off that back and that rip in that corner?
Yeah, you guys better go down.
Yeah, I got it. You drive. I've got it, you drive.
The distance from the tower to the south corner is 500 metres.
Yeah, whip it to boys in the Rhino. You're going to just go. Definitely one, probably might as well both go. There's three of them out there.
Yeah, copy, man. How's it going?
The swimmers have drifted 200 metres offshore. Harrison and Ryan dig deep for the paddle.
It was a really long paddle out, and I kept on looking up, and I felt like I wasn't even halfway yet. I had to put my head down, just keep paddling.
You're flying down there, you know, they're seeing all these different people drowning, and you've got to make a decision, who do I need to go to first? And it does get the heart rate up. It just seems like people just pick when we're leaving. Oh, okay, lifeguards are leaving now. Now's a good time to drown. Yeah, it is a little bit frustrating, but I mean, we're lifeguards. We're not going to let someone drown, even if we are off the clock. You're sweet. If I put him on the board, you're sweet. I got this patient. I did offer him the lift, and I said, "Oh, you know, we'll get a wave."
You want to jump on and get a wave? Oh yeah, man.
He was like, "Yeah, like let's get a wave," and he was pumped, and so he got more than he bargained for, I think.
Okay.
As they move into the impact zone, Harrison and Ryan must avoid getting hit by a looming set.
A little bit of experience came into play on the way back in, and Harrison nailed it like a seasoned veteran, and Ryan got smashed like a rookie.
Yep.
No. He's in the barrel.
In front of all the guys, you want to impress them and all that, and definitely one of the things not to do is nose dive with a patient, that's for sure.
It's all good. Just keep going that way, towards that way.
With the only available buggy at South Bondi, Whippet spots more people in trouble at the middle of the beach.
I looked down and spotted another group of about 5 people in the other rip. Yeah, 2 more on this other rip, but...
Without backup, lifeguards will be outnumbered.
Harrison and Ryan were trying to get them on the radios, and in the end it was just up to me and Jess.
Almost all of the rescue equipment is packed away, so lifeguards must improvise.
We just had to run downstairs, take some boards off the racks and pin it.
Go, box.
So I got back to shore, I heard radio chat going non-stop.
Ryan, get on the back.
And I just knew, I said, Ryan, just screamed, Ryan, get on the buggy, let's just go. We've got to go backpackers.
Stop here. Go on, I want you to come with me. I want you to come with me. Okay, man. All right.
After doing a massive paddle in the south corner, then having to go full speed out for this group, I just gave up. Put my head on the board and was like, oh, no more. Please, no more swimming. Come back tomorrow.
This has just been one heck of a finish to an afternoon. We would have had guaranteed multiple deaths right then. If we'd gone like when we were supposed to have left, they were gone. So, yeah, I think the boys have really earned their keep today, and I think we're all pretty exhausted, so time for a nice cold beer in the shower, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm proud of the boys. They're back and forward, trying to pack all the gear up and in between doing rescues, so it's a part of the job, and it's something they've learn to do, and they do it very well.
So just when we think we're all done and dusted, the boys have rescued 2, we've just rescued another 5. We're that close to a beer in the shower. Jesse's on again.
I seen a guy like 300 metres further out, and like, obviously I can back myself, but I just, you know, I know how fit Ryan is. I was like, brother, you're coming with me, mate, let's go.
In the fading light, Jesse struggles for a visual.
We both paddled out and he was so far out, and actually it was the same bloke I'd rescued about 15 minutes earlier that wanted to get a wave.
The man got dumped by Ryan earlier. Now on board with Jesse, he gets a second chance at catching a wave at Bondi.
You got to stand up, and absolutely stoked about it, and yeah, obviously he can go home from Bondi with a smile on his face.
When someone's standing on the front of your board, it's good for the boys to have a laugh at.
10 after-hours rescues in less than 10 minutes. Lifeguards finally get to call it a day.
See you guys. See you.